Hello and welcome to Pitt Street Research. My name is Stuart Roberts and I'm one of the co-founders of our firm. And joining me today all the way from Vancouver, Washington is Mr. Jim Haden, who's president of BluGlass, ASX BLG. Jim, welcome to Australia.
Thank you, Stuart.
Your third trip to Australia since you became CEO of
yes,
BluGlass.
it is. Yeah.
If I could summarise BluGlass in one sentence, you're aiming to be the world's leading supplier of efficiently produced gallium nitride LEDs and laser diodes. Did I capture the story in a nutshell?
Yeah, that's a good synopsis. We basically are the only vertically integrated gallium nitride laser diode company in Australia, and we're one of the few in the world that is doing what we do.
Right. Now, the reason we need gallium nitride laser diodes is multiple, but basically you can't run the modern automotive industry and the emerging automotive industry without it, it's fair to say.
There's a lot that these will do. These lasers are going to disrupt some of the existing markets, things that are being done with other lasers, but they are enabling new technology, especially in the areas of quantum and biomed and so forth, and also materials processing, extending what we could do with other types of lasers.
Right. And we'll come to that in a second, but let's talk about an important announcement. It's Monday, the 20th of February, 2023. You've just announced to the ASX your first purchase orders coming out of Fremont. That's a very proud moment for BluGlass.
It is. It's very exciting for us. We, at the end of last day of January, first couple of days of February, we had a show at Photonics West, and these sales are results of that discussion that we had with many, many customers. And getting our first orders, it's been exciting. What it does is, these customers of ours are leading OEMs,
right,
and they are taking small quantity orders right now. And what they're doing is they're putting those into their products for product development. We expect that there will be more material orders in the future, but there's also several other companies that are interested in working with us, and it's pretty exciting to have it happen so quickly after the show.
Part of the potential of this company is there's relatively few places in the world you can go and find the kind of laser diodes that you supply. So you're a challenger brand, if I could put it like that, in this industry. But more importantly, you're vertically integrated now. For a long time, BluGlass was a technology development company. The acquisition of the Fremont facility enabled you to actually manufacture in the fab that you've got there. Talk to us about that vertical integration strategy.
Well, it's very important because there are different reasons why companies will vertically integrate, but we had challenges in what you might call the downstream market, because it's, like I said, there's been only a handful of companies in the world that are doing this. If you're in silicon, you have fabs that are just experts at it, but we're doing development at CMs. Now, we still can benefit from CMs, but bringing it in-house just takes so much risk out because we can own the IP in this nascent technology.
Right.
And it gives us a lot more control over the designs of our product, rather than being able to use a toolbox or confined to the toolboxes that were at our CMs. We are creating new processes that as we learn and get the feedback, and it also gives us the ability to move much more quickly. We do what's called short loops, where we do experiments on just the four key areas that we have on lasers, and we've talked about those before, but the metals, the epi itself, the facets, and the thermal mechanical part of it. And so we have the ability to do short experiments on those, figure out how we could implement improvements, and then put them into the full laser diodes.
Right.
And we're moving much more quickly than we were before.
Right. So an important center of knowledge in what is turning out to be a very important product development area. Talk to us, for instance, about some of we mentioned before some of the applications here, and I'm very interested particularly in biomedical. Where are we going to see gallium nitride laser diodes show up in the future in a more serious way?
Well, it's interesting going back to the show, the event that we had in San Francisco.
Yeah, just for the benefit of the players who don't know about Photonics West, big meeting at the Moscone Center in San Francisco every
Absolutely.
year. And if you're anyone who's anyone in photonics, the only person who's not there is Mark Kennis, but everyone else is there. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a good show, and coming out of the restrictions of COVID, it was much more well attended than it was last year and the previous. So there's that, but also the fact that we introduced our suite of products our first 6 products to market. That generated quite a bit of interest. And so we started getting companies coming by and talking to us. And we found actually kind of an equal distribution between the companies that are coming. They're coming from as you mentioned, the biomed, biotech.
Right.
And then there's quite a few from industrial. Right. And then in the research and science, largely in quantum. And the applications that we're seeing in those is like quantum sensing, quantum computers, and
probably the most rapidly growing part of the whole computing spectrum today.
It's
in terms of hardware, basically.
It's very exciting, right? And because the things that you could do are just, that's where some things will be disruptive, others will be sort of a white noise. You couldn't do this kind of stuff without these lasers.
Right.
And then in the industrial, we saw things like 3D imaging, machine vision, materials processing, 3D printing. All of those things are, there's a lot of excitement because of what these wavelengths will do. And then in the biomed, biotech, next-gen sequencing for DNA and so forth, that's big. And then
you're potentially the $1,000 DNA, $1,000 sequence. That's basically your technology is instrumental for that.
It's the technology we provide is going to help that happen and happen at smaller sizes and more quickly. And then we've got also the things like killing bacteria, which is big. As the antibiotics are changing so quickly in the world. One thing is the light that we provide can kill both bacteria, and when you go down into the deeper UV ranges, viruses as well.
Right.
So it's exciting in the future for us.
Absolutely. You've got 405, 420, and 450 nanometer. Any plans to expand that range further?
Yeah, that's those generated the interest I just talked to you about. But if you want to go into more of the AR, VR, and other applications, going to longer wavelengths. Also, there's wavelengths in quantum that they want longer than 450. So we're going to continue to move up toward the green, and we'll also eventually start to go down into the UV ranges, which there's wavelengths in quantum. Also in UV is good for killing viruses and other bacteria.
Okay. Great to see BluGlass making such excellent progress. And we're pretty sure there's more where that came from. So, Jim Haden, keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you.